So you've probably come across social media schedulers before. They're pretty common, pretty well known. We've looked at a lot of them. We've looked at Buffer, Hootsuite, Content Cal. But what we've settled on recently is a program called Coschedule. And one of the reasons why is because it's particularly good with scheduling video, which is a limitation that a lot of the other platforms have got. So in this video, I'm going to walk through how you use Coschedule to set up campaigns and repeat campaigns as well, which saves you a heap of time using Coschedule to publish video across multiple social media channels. Coschedule comes in the form of a plugin that you can plug into WordPress, but also as a desktop app in a web browser. When you use it with WordPress, you can set it up to directly feed from RSS so that when you publish a post, it publishes that straight out. We're not going to focus on that so much today. We're going to use the Chrome application, and we're going to look at posting a video campaign. So the first thing that we see when we arrive on the page is the calendar. And you can see that I've got some previous posts that I've posted out on the calendar here to Twitter and to LinkedIn, and you can tell just by looking at the tags at the top which networks those have gone out on. But let's say I want to set up a new campaign with a bunch of videos. So again, if you look at these posts previously, you can see that I've been sending out videos in these posts by these blocks down here. So let's say that we want to set up a campaign running out from the 8th. So in the top right hand corner here, I can click on the plus button. I'm going to click social campaign, and I'm going to give it a title. So let's call this video ads. So there we go. You can give that a tag and a description if you want, but I'm just going to create a social campaign over on the right here. And we're going to do two different things here. I'll run through it first as the sort of simple basic setup of how to set up a single campaign, and then we'll look at creating a shell or a sort of a template for a campaign so that you can repopulate this and use it again. And that's one of the really helpful, useful things about Coschedule. That one of the reasons we chose it over some other platforms is that you're able to create a template, which means that when you come to creating a campaign for your next video, you don't have to run through all of this work again. You can just use the template, populate it with the new video and a little bit of text, and off it goes. But to set up a single campaign, let's have a quick look at how to do this really simply. So we want to first of all set the day that we're going to publish this video, and we can send out a tweet or a social post on that day. So first of all, at the top here, you see all of the different social networks that I've got connected. So I'm going to select Twitter for this one, for example, and we could type in a little bit of text. This video is about Square, being the Square format of video, so I'm just going to put in something like that. And then at the top here we can click on the video tab, and then we just need to upload a video. So you'll see there's a small icon here now which allows us to upload a video. Now one of the drawbacks of this bit of software is that you need to get the video size down under 100 meg. If your videos are over 100 meg, we've got a tutorial on our site that shows you how to reduce that down so that you can get the video under 100 meg, and then you can use it in Coschedule for whatever you want. And the video is uploading now, so we'll come back in a sec when that's done. Okay, so our video is uploaded now, and you can start to see what it's going to look like. So this is giving you a preview here. So we've got the video here, and we've got the text at the top there. You could add in a little bit more text or something if you want. And then down below, it tells you, it gives you the option for when you want to post it. So this is going to be published on the same day that we're publishing the campaign. And you can either choose a specific time, or a time after the published time, or you can allow it to choose best time, and then it will use all its wisdom to decide what the best time is, whether it's the morning or the afternoon, just depending on the network and all of those different kind of factors. And then we just have to click add down the bottom. And then you can repeat that process. So you could do another one the day after. We could select a different profile. We could select a Facebook page. And again, we could click on the video. Now this time you can see it's added it to the library, so we're able to just add that video in fairly quickly. Maybe write some different text because it's a different network and people respond in different ways on different networks. So you've got maybe a little bit more space to write with a Facebook post, or the text might be slightly different. This is why square video is important, and again we could just add that message in, and you can see how you can just keep repeating that process all the way through. Once we've populated this feed, once we've got all of our tweets lined up, we need to schedule the post. So down here in the bottom right, we need to move it out of draft mode and into scheduled mode. If you now go back to our calendar, you can see where this campaign starts. So it starts on the 8th. Campaign's called Video Ads, and it's got the tweet that we scheduled for the same day with that text there, and on the next day it's got the Facebook post with the slightly different text. Now here's the clever thing: if I decide that I need to get a few things in place before I publish this, if the landing page that's linked to it isn't ready, or if I need to move it for another reason, I can grab the campaign here and move it to a different day. So I could move it back 2 days. All of the tweets are going to move with that campaign start date. So we can see now that this tweet has moved on the launch day, but also because it's set relatively, because the time is set relatively, so has the Facebook post that follows it. So when we move the campaign start date, all of those tweets, all of those social posts are connected to it, and they all move and stay scheduled to that start date. Okay, so we've had a look at how to set up a single campaign, and now we're going to look at how you set up a template, because if you put a lot of work into creating a campaign with lots of dates and post types and a sort of complex schedule, you don't want to have to keep repeating that every time you set up a new campaign. So there's a really great thing you can do with Coschedule where we're going to set up a template, and basically we do it in the same way that we set up the initial campaign. So we're going to go onto our calendar and select the start date and select social campaign. I'm going to give it a title. So let's call this Video Blast, so that we can create a campaign to blast out a new video every time we've created one. And then we're going to create a social campaign over here on the right. We get the same view as we did before. So we're going to start populating this, but instead of using actual media, actual sort of videos and text for the tweets, we're going to put in what they call helpers, which are kind of like placeholders for the media, so that we can then use those, use that same template over and over again with new media when we have it. So I'll just start off by creating the first post. So let's say this is a tweet, and we are going to use video. So let's select the video option. So now, instead of adding in the copy for the first tweet, we're going to add in a placeholder. So if I go up to the left-hand menu up here, you'll see there's a small section with a couple of brackets. And if I click on those, it allows me to add a helper. So the first thing we're going to do is add a text helper, and we're going to call that Twitter text, or Twitter 1, let's call it. So you might have 50 tweets in a campaign template, and you might want to use 4 or 5 different bits of copy, so you're not repeating those tweets too regularly, or your audience isn't seeing the same tweet over and over again. So we could set up 4 or 5 different bits of copy up here by creating 4 or 5 different helpers. So we might have Twitter 1, we might have Twitter 2. You might have some different text for a Facebook post, and you'd create a helper called Facebook 1, etc., etc., etc. Now what you'll see over here on the right of this text box here is we've got these helpers available. So if I click Twitter 1, it puts that helper in there, and that means that whatever we populate over here on the left is going to fill the tweet on the right. And that means that you only have to fill out the copy once per individual tweet, rather than for every single tweet that you want to send out in a campaign. But how does that work for video? Well, let's have a quick look. There's also helpers for video. So when I drop this menu down, we can select a video helper. Let's call this video post 1. So for a campaign, you might just have one video or you might have several. And then you click on this little icon here and you can upload the video to that when you're ready. But for the moment, what we're going to do is just click over here on the video button and select this video helper that we've just created. So again, that's a template that we're popping in there. Okay, and that's ready to go. And now when we fill in the information on the left here, it's going to populate the post on the right. So we'll add that in. So we get a couple of warning signs here, and that's just to remind you that you haven't actually filled in any of the media over on the left that we need. But let's set up another post quickly before we go and address that. So let's say we want to post out to a Facebook group. So we can post to Facebook groups as well as Facebook pages. And we might use the Twitter text in this, or we might have created a new helper for Facebook text. It's entirely up to you. Let's use Twitter 2 here. And then for the video, we want to add in the video. We click here, we add in the video post, etc., etc. And then we can choose the day it's published and the best time like we did before and add the message in. So now we've got 2 posts going out. And you can continue to do this as many times as you want. We've got templates with 4 or 5 posts, 4 or 5 tweets, or a couple of Facebook posts on. We've got some that have 20 or 30 that span an entire month. So you can build quite complex templates and then populate them really easily. So in this situation, if we wanted to populate this, all we have to do is add in the text here, which is like, this is great, and that'll fill that Twitter helper, and try this now. You know, obviously you develop your copy a little bit better. So our warning messages are disappearing now for the text helpers, and we just then need to use a video here to fill the video helper. So you can select a video, it needs to be under 100 meg, upload it. We'll come back in a sec when that's uploaded. Okay, so that video is uploaded now, and you can see that we've just basically populated the tweets and the posts on the right hand side here with the video that we've added to the video post 1 helper. So you could replace that with any video and it would update all of the posts on the right hand side. There's one more step that we need to do, so we need to rewind a little bit back to the previous state we had before we added the media, which is going to look a little bit like this. So we want to leave this area blank and this area blank so that we can fill that content in when we've got it. You want to leave your video helper blank as well. But you do need to create all of the schedule on the right. So you need to create all the different posts and the days that they go out and the channels that they go out to, and just leave the helpers blank so that you can fill those in when you need them. Once you've done that, you can go up to this small icon next to the brackets, go across to this little menu here, and then save existing. We'll save it as a template. So you can see it's given it a name there. It's called it Video Blast Q template. And then we can just click close, and you'll see that that template is now available over here on the left. So to create a new campaign using that template, we simply go back to our menu, back to our calendar, select a new day, go to social campaign, give it a title. So this is Video Blast 2. Go over to our templates and select the Q template that we just created. And that's going to load everything up just as we had it before. We can click apply. It's going to give us those error messages to remind us to fill in the data that we've got there using the section on the left. And away you go with your second campaign without having to reproduce all of that work that you did the first time round. So I hope that's been useful. If you know somebody who uses social media scheduling, or if you think this would be useful to someone you know, don't forget to share it with them. We've got plenty more videos like this on our YouTube channel, so don't forget to subscribe. My name's David Kelly. See you next time.